Good morning and happy Friday to you. And if you are watching me live today or during the day that this has broadcasted, it is all things Apple Day over in the Craft on the Clock group. Just in time for fall, we're giving that cute little fruit its special day. So come on in, join me at My Sweet Home Living today for the next 45 minutes as we are cross-streaming over into the amazing Craft Around the Clock group. So excited to have you here today, and if you would join in all of today's presentations, every 45 minutes a new Apple-themed project or DIY is coming your way in that group today, all the way up until, I think it's 9 p.m. tonight. So we'll fill your Friday with lots of fall fun. So let me know that you're here. Good morning, Miss Nicole. Good morning, Miss Daphne and Margaret. We are repurposing a jar today. You all know that I love to take things and give them a vintage or primitive spin and repurpose things, and today's no exception. So I'm wearing red even though it's like 100 degrees here in Kentucky today. Hey, we had to bring out the red for apples today. Sometimes in the fall, I feel like apples just kind of get shoveled over to the side because, you know, its friend pumpkin takes the scene for all things fall, but apples have their place for fall too. So I'm excited for today's project. Good morning, Miss Angel, first time viewer. Welcome. If you are new, you can put !new, all together one word, and I'll send you a comment back today. So excited y'all are here. Listen, it's all happening in the Craft on the Clock group. If you are not a part of that group, I encourage you to check it out. We have some amazing and talented creatives that bring you DIY projects all day, every day through the week. And if you need the link to that group, you can comment !clock, all one word, no spaces, and it will give you a comment back with the link. Good morning, Miss Catherine from Glasgow. Well, I lived in Glasgow for just a few short months, about 20 years ago, but I'm not far from Glasgow at all. So happy to have you here. Good morning, Miss D and Joyce. Okay, you all know that this month I'm slowly making things to replace the patriotic decor that I've had up in my home all summer long. And so each time I go live, I try to think of things like, okay, well, I have this little item in my decor. What can I do to replace it with something new for fall that will hopefully inspire you? Good morning from the UK. So happy to have you here. Good morning, good morning. So earlier in the summer, I made this little, I kind of called it a rag quilt inspired little jar lamp, and it has a little shade, and I plug it in and it lights up at the bottom and at the top, and I usually have it like sitting right over here on this corner of my jelly cabinet. Good morning, Miss Liz from the Crafty Queens. She showed you in the comments, if you comment just like she did, !clock, and it will reply back with the comment, and I can pin that, hopefully. There we go. That'll give you the pin the link to the Craft on the Clock group so y'all can find all the Apple themed projects today. So I'm replacing this today with today's project. It's going to be fall themed, of course, Apple themed, right? But this is a little lampshade that I bought on Amazon. I love using it, and I just make my own little candle. I've showed you all how to do this in previous videos. It's not a complicated process, but you do kind of have to know how to do it. I just use a paper towel or aluminum foil tube and put some hot glue drips and paint it, and I use a little pigtail lamp little cord, okay? And these are kind of what you see with like Christmas village lights and things like that, but I put all that together and made that cute little lamp. So today's project is going to be something inspired that will take the place of this, only it's going to be Apple themed, okay? Now this one I can't really take apart and disassemble rather, because it's all kind of hooked in together. It's all glued and fabric and attached together. So what we'll create today, we'll have to create our own little lamp feature. I'm going to show you the base of the lamp that I'm going to create today. I don't know if we'll get to the actual light feature, but I am using a medium-sized pickle jar, okay? My husband takes like the little kosher deals. They're not the midgets. They're kind of, I think they're called baby size. They're not midgets, but they're a little bit step above. And this is the size jar that I like to get because it's perfect for this kind of thing. And it's just the right size to pair with my little lampshade. And I can swap out this lampshade for each new lamp that I create for a holiday or the seasons. And you can find these on Amazon. If you need the link, I can send you my affiliate link for Amazon to where you can find these. Sometimes you can catch them on sale. And I love repurposing them. Usually they have a black one, and sometimes they have like a deep red, which would be perfect for an apple theme. But black for me works across all seasons. And of course, it gives me that perfect primitive rustic country touch. And then the star motif is something that I use as a repeating pattern throughout my home decor too. So it's a win-win all the way around. If you want to know where you can find that, if you need the specific link, I'd be more than happy to share it with you. If you just let me know in the comments, and I can come back later today and share that link with you. Okay, I'm just going to put the disclaimer out there. I have changed my mind about 1,000,000 times for this lamp today. I have come through every possibility imaginable, and I've gone with fabric, I've gone with rusted tin, I've gone with using tea bags, I've gone with the idea of using a paper bag, all kinds of things. So I may be asking for your input today on how to put together this lamp. I've got lots of ideas and I just can't settle on one today. Good morning. Let's see, who was that? Miss Roxanne, how are you, sweet friends? So glad that you're here. Miss Yvette, Kathy, so excited y'all are here. Now, I hope, oh, my comments stopped scrolling. That's why. You went from no ideas to 20 ideas. That's kind of how I've been this morning. Usually I kind of have something in my mind that I want to do, and the idea and the plan just kind of works itself out before I ever go live. Today it just hasn't done that. But I think, let me kind of run through my ideas and we'll get spinning on this. I'm wanting to sort of use some fabric. To me, I think fabric for the fall just says warm and cozy, right? So I have some fabric options. Let me show you. I think these 3 colors would be so perfect for something with fall. I've got a green homespun, I have a yellow, and then I have like a deep burgundy. Now, doesn't that scream like fall, apple-ish theme, right? Nothing bright red like my shirt, but I like more muted tones when it comes to my home decor. As you can kind of see, I've got more muted, earthy tones for my colors, and that's pretty typical of primitive style decorating. Good morning, Miss Sheila. How are you? So that's a thought. We could do something with that. Or I've thought about cutting out an apple shape, rusting it up, and using that sort of as a little pattern on the front of this, and then covering the jar in some other way, whether that's paint, whether that's fabric, or tea bags. I'm just torn. I'm just torn on what to do. I think before I started my live, the one thing I think I kind of decided on is that I want the base of this with the tea bags. Have you all seen the tea bag method that I've done before? I've done some little jelly jars with the tea bags. I think that's what I'm going to go with. Now for the apple, I could either use fabric, I could use this and grunge it up, or I could cut out a piece of tin in an apple shaped pattern and rust it up and use that sort of as our design on the front. So that's our 3 options for the apple. I think I just want one large apple right on the front. Let's tilt this camera down so y'all can kind of see my work surface a little better. Good morning, Miss Cindy. How are you? Good morning, Miss Tracy. All right, so if you've not seen what I do with the tea bags, you guys. All right, these are tea bags. Now, of course, they have been used. They have been, I've used them to brew tea. And then once I'm finished with the tea bag, let me kind of show you what they look like before I ever get to this point. They look something like this, right? A tea bag. So once you use it to brew your tea, you unfold it, okay? Gently, you unfold it and you take out the tea grounds, okay? Some people use the tea grounds in their garden. Some people just pitch it, right? I can do either one. But you could even dump it in your house plants, in the soil of your house plants. for some kind of nutritional benefits. I can't even remember what, but it's something beneficial for your plants. And then I let this dry, okay? And when you do that, you kind of get this little patina, this little grungy patina that we all kind of work so hard for when it comes to primitive and rustic style decorating. So that's why I like using these. Yes, you're right. So what we'll do, we'll Mod Podge these on. Sometimes I stamp these with a little pattern or something like that. I don't think we're going to do that today. I think we're just going to put them on. I just kind of want a soft glow to this jar, and then I can put a string of lights in here and it'll give me that soft, warm little glow that I like to have. And then our apple will kind of show through. It will kind of have like a little apple shadow effect, if you will. When the lights are turned on, we'll have that little apple design coming through. We'll see how it turns out. And if it turns out and it's not real cute, hey, all we've wasted is a jar and some tea bags, which sometimes would be trash anyway, right? Thank you, Miss Angel. Yes, I love using these tea bags for this. And there's something that you would, pitch in the trash anyway. So if you can find a way to use them, go for it. And they're usually really durable, and you could also use coffee filters or tissue paper or napkins. Now, tissue paper and napkins are a lot more delicate, I will say that, than these tea bags. These tea bags are pretty nifty. You would think they're delicate and they would rip on you, but they are really have good hold to them. And what I like about it is it already has that, like I said, that rustic grunge color to them, and you are you're getting a little bit of a wrinkled effect. I don't know if you guys can see that. See a little bit of the wrinkling, which I think reminds me of like a vintage newspaper, sort of. Kind of gives you that vibe a little bit. So that's the reason why I like using them. Plus, you're using them to brew your tea and then throwing them away. So essentially, you are not spending any money to use them for a craft supply. We've created some adorable little jelly jars with these, and some other style jar lamps with these as well. So something that you just don't think about. So I'm just going to go around and wrap this jar, and then we will trim around the edges as we get to them. I do think I'm going to kind of finish around the top with some little rag bow, like a little rag ribbon or a rag tie. Maybe not so much a bow, but a rag tie, and maybe some Sweet Annie. Some dried Sweet Annie. We're going to give it that real prim country look. Now, I want you guys to let me know who remembers. I know there's so many of you I know that will probably say you remember when apples were the coolest country decorating theme around. Who had an apple themed kitchen or dining room back in, what was it, 90s or late 80s possibly? I know who you've got to be there. Who had some apple themed decor in their home? Miss Deborah? Yes? Does that mean you had some apple themed decor in your home? I know you do. Some of you still might. And I think apples are just something that's, I think, classic country, theme. And it can mix and match through the seasons as well, I think, because it lends itself to all the seasons, honestly. I have one little strip in the back that had apples and gingerbread, apples, salt and pepper shakers. You still have them? Apples in the 80s. Yes. In the 80s? Awesome. Well, even if you don't still have the apple theme, everything makes its comeback in some form or fashion, through the years. Doesn't that typically hold true, whether it's fashion or decor or, any kind of theme or trend? you know, you will see it recycle back around every so often. And I think that's kind of the case with apples as well. Typically when you see the 80s or the 90s apple, you know, everything's like the red apples, and mixed with like a hunter green color or things like that. You had your whole kitchen decorated in apple wallpaper. Oh my gracious. You used to decorate sweatshirts for teachers with apples. Oh my gosh. Yeah, see, I knew you guys, I knew you guys would remember that. All right, so I'm just going to put a little bit of Mod Podge around the bottom of this. And what I will do later is I will come in with a round circle piece of one of those tea bags and cover this base with just a real pretty little circle, just to kind of finish it off. Okay, that way if it's something that I choose to give as a gift, or make and resell, or this would be a really cute craft show, you know, something that you could make and resell, because you're not putting a whole lot of money into it. And so whatever you sell it for would, you know, be good, you know, decent profit. Okay, I did not bring any paper towels or baby wipes or anything to the table today. What was I thinking? I'm just going to go ahead and cut out a circle, you guys, because I kind of had some extra Mod Podge there, so I'm just going to go ahead and use it. All right. Now, I did not cut that as clean as I wanted to, so what I'll do now, I'll press that down and then go around and clean it. Okay. Almost got it. Almost got it. There we go. All right, I have just a little bit where it dried. I need just a dab of more so it will stick good. These are so forgiving, these little tea bags, I'm telling you. And then once you get this all kind of put together, what I would do is go and give it a quick spray of like a matte sealer, like a spray sealer, in a matte coating, I would. And that way, if you use this in a kitchen and you get splatters or whatever, it will wipe clean, okay? Because those tea bags, they will, you know, they're absorbent. They will soak up anything that touches them. So keep that in mind. All right. Now, I'm going to put a little bit of Mod Podge. Let's see, how are we doing on time? We're good. Okay. I feel like I've been taking a lot of time, but we're not too bad, actually. All right, I'm just dabbing some Mod Podge in around that rim, and I'm just going to kind of press it down. And I'm not going to worry too much about what it looks like wrinkle-wise. I just want it to hold, okay? And around that curve, around the rim of that jar can be a little tricky. So, you know, get that Mod Podge around that top rim there. See that where it starts to curve right in there? Make sure that you get that Mod Podge or whatever decoupage medium you're using, whether it's just regular school glue or whatever you choose. Make sure that you get that covered right in there, because if not, it will want to peel back up on you later. And I'm just going to use my fingers and press it around that curve first. Make sure that it sticks there. And then I'll go around the rim and kind of press that in. All right, now if it doesn't want to stick down perfectly, I'm not going to fret over it too much, because I'm going to put a little rag tie around the top of that. That's the plan anyway, okay? Now, well, I'm not plugged in. Hold on, let's grab the plug. We need a little bit of heat to speed that up. Okay. Now really, you don't have to completely dry this all the way, but you can see the soft glow, and it already just gives you that vintage jar feel, right? And you can see if you had put some stamping on those tea bags, if you have some cute little apple themed stamps, oh, that would be adorable. Or little fall leaf design of a stamp, that would be so cute on those tea bags before you put them on your paper, or on your jar, I mean. Would be adorable. And you've already got that vintage coloration to it. Love the tea bag idea. Yes, save those tea bags. Save those tea bags. I can't tell you just the coolest effect that it will give you on your jars. Good morning, Miss Lizette. How are you? There's y'all must be talking about some cities. Some cities. Beaufort. Hey, Miss Kelly. Hey, Miss Roxanne. All right, you guys. We're just giving it a quick dry because when I sit this on my table, I don't want this to get stuck. And then when I pull it up, it's going to pull the tea bag off. So we're just giving it a real quick dry. Okay. Now, so here comes decision-making time. We have to decide, do we want to do an apple in fabric? Do we want to do it a rusted apple? Or do we want to do a paper bag cutout and grunge it? Decisions. Wish you could. You're allergic to tea, Sheila. Wow, I'd never heard of that. Yeah, that you don't want to drink the tea, but you could use coffee filters. If you use coffee filters to, for your coffee, you could definitely use those because they have the same texture. Oh, I've got Mod Podge all over my fingers, you guys. All right, let's see. I see paper bag. I see fabric. Fabric. Rusted fabric. I don't know, you guys. Green fabric for a green apple. That would be cute. I'm seeing lots of fabric. Okay, so I have a really cute, like a deep red. I'm seeing lots of fabric. I see a bag. I'm not seeing much for the rusted apple, which I'm okay with. That's no problem. Thank you so much for those stars, sweet Lizette. How are you? A bag. Okay, I'm like a school kid trying to peel this glue off my finger because I feel like I can't feel anything that I'm working with. And I don't know if anybody else is like me. I can't even keep my nails long or anything because when I'm working with my hands, I have to be able to feel things. Fabric and fabric and fabric. All right, so I think what we could do with the fabric, here's a thought. Okay, we've decided on fabric, so here's our second option. With fabric, we could, have you all seen people make the little fabric rosettes, or taking the fabric and rolling it? I don't know if we could make an apple shape by doing that, but that might be kind of cute. I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of talking myself out of that as I go. All right, let's do an apple cutout with this. I have not grunged this fabric yet, so I will probably have to grunge this and then put it on there. So let's slide the jar out of the way. Now, an apple shape. Let me grab an ink pen. Let's turn it onto the wrong side of the fabric first. That way I can see my ink pen. I'm going to put this paper underneath there so I kind of have a harder surface to draw on. Okay. Rusted would add another texture. Fabric could be. Yes, you're right. You know what? When you just said that, that gave me a thought. If I cut out the apple pattern, both in a tin and a fabric, I could kind of get a double layer, like have the outer edge of it with the rusted tin and then a smaller apple in the center of that would be fabric. That would be kind of cute. Hey Marie, let's see. Those fabric rosettes are hard on the, yes, you're right, they could be. Rusted would, okay, I saw that comment. You like the fabric idea with the rusty, oh, with a rusty center. Well, that would be a good change up too. Okay, so here's my thought. I have this cute little, you'll see me do the apple pie, the little mini hand pies. I think it was last fall. I don't remember. But I had these little hand pie little cutters. My sweet friend Teresa, and I did not make the connection, from Forest Acre Primitives, she sent me a bag of goodies. And I feel so bad. I used the little crow that she sent me on this little pumpkin. Her name was Teresa Dunahee, and I did not make the connection. She didn't put a note in her bag, or I had no indication on the address that she was with her page, Forest Acre Primitives. She sent me the sweetest little bag, and it had some of these fall-themed little hand pie cookie cutters, basically, but you cut out 2 shapes and you make little hand pies with them. And I had some standard shapes of these, but she sent me a fall set. Like there's an acorn, a pumpkin, and an apple. So I think I'm going to use this sort of as my template to draw my apple. That's the plan anyway. That's the plan. Because I could freehand it, but you know, I don't know how well that would go. So we're going to see how this will go. Well, let me tilt this down a little bit more. Show you what I'm doing here. I have put that little shape down, okay, right down here on my fabric, wrong side up, so that I can see where I'm drawing with this ink pen. And I'm just going to go around, trace this out. Now I'm obviously not going to be able to get the stem area very well because it has this little lip for a handle right there. So I will probably just have to kind of freehand that part, but that shouldn't be too bad. Just as long as I kind of get the basic shape. Now you could print out an apple template, you know, online, but my printer, of course, it needing some new ink, so I was not able to do that today. Okay, this is going to give me my basic apple shape. All right, so let's cut this out real quick. And I think it would look really cute if we frayed the edges a little bit. Let me cut it out in a smaller piece so it's a little bit easier to manage. There we go. Now, we could create a little stem with the green homespun. Or not a stem, I'm thinking a leaf. But I think the mixing and matching of patterns with this fabric would look so cute. And I think it would be so charming in a country style sense of decorating. I think it would just match and coordinate together. Ooh, my hands are shaky today. I haven't even ate breakfast this morning yet. Okay, there's the cute little apple. All right, now let's see on this jar. How cute is that going to be? Ah, that's going to be cute. Now I am going to fray the edges. You all know I love things that are tattered. So we're going to pull some of these threads out, and then we're going to give it a quick coat of coffee grunge. Well, I say that, but I won't be able to glue it down if it's wet. So I might have to glue it down and then grunge it later, because that would kind of slow down our process here. So yeah, I'll put it on and then I will go over it with a coat of coffee grunge after I get it on and after the glue dries. I just want to fray those edges. I want it to look raveled. And when I put that coffee grunge on, it will also give it a little bit more of a distressing feel and look, okay? Okay. That's going to be cute. Okay, let's Mod Podge that down. Hey, Miss Stephanie from the Vintage Pebble, how are you? I think I'm going to put the Mod Podge on the fabric. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm not even going to worry about if the Mod Podge goes all the way to the edge, because that will allow a little bit of that fabric to kind of pucker around the edge and give you more of that rag quilt feel. I don't know. I just love the look of those little rag quilts. And that's kind of the same feel I'm going for. And make sure I don't put my apple on here upside down. Okay, here we go. That just screams country, right? That just screams country decor right there. All right. I'm just tapping it to make sure that that fabric gets pressed down on there really well. And then, as you can see, it's going to let the sides of that fabric kind of pucker. And I can go in and distress the edges of that even more later with some either a little bit of ink or a little bit of the coffee grunge to give it a little bit of a grubbier look. Okay, now let's just cut out real quick. Let's just cut out a little basic green leaf. That's not too hard to do with freehand, right? We can do that. We can manage. Okay. An apple leaf, I think, is just like a basic almond shape. That's all I ever see. Now the sizing might be a little tricky, so I'm going to start big and I can always trim it down. Okay. All right. That looks a little big, doesn't it? Or does it? What do you think? It's a little big. Good morning, Miss Pam. How are you? So excited to see y'all on a Friday morning. I hope that you guys can stick around and enjoy some of today's apple themed projects that are happening all day in the Craft on the Clock group. Yeah, that's better. I like that. That's cute. Now, let's get that kind of stuck down with a little bit of Mod Podge. And once again, I'm not going to worry about like super coating it every inch of it with the Mod Podge, just enough to get it tacked down. And that way, if any part of that fabric wants to pucker, it'll give you a little bit of a 3D effect. Oh, that's cute. Okay. There we go. Isn't that cute? Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. We've got, let's see, what time did I start? 8:15. We've got about 10 more minutes. So this is going to work out perfect. For the rim, here's what we can do. I want something sort of neutral around that rim, and then we can also give this little apple a little fabric tag as well. Wouldn't that be cute? Oh gosh, this is going to be cute. Okay, this little, I like this little, this is a little striped homespun. My lighting's going to wash it out. There you go. Isn't that funny how that camera will do that? There you go. You can kind of see it has just some different tones of creams on it, and I think it just adds to the next little pattern of the added effect of the pattern mixing. I will spit it out in a minute. Goodness, I apologize. My brain and mouth are just not, they're not cooperating yet this morning. Oh my gracious. Thank you, Miss Liz. Miss Brenda, how are you? So good to see y'all on this morning. Now, here's an option. Before we put this tag around the rim, I can put a little tag right here on the apple, something like that. Or I can make it look like it's a little hang tag that's dangling off of the apple. Or I could make it, I don't know. As I see it, I kind of like it with that red on the background there. Now, what would we put on this little tag? That's the other kicker. I was going to show you guys kind of what I'm talking about with, let's see. Let me grab this. something like this. I make the little tags that go with my strawberry jam jars. Something similar to that. What could we put on there? What could we put on there? You'll have to watch. Oh, thank you. Making you want apple butter. That would be cute. We could put apple butter on there even. We could just freehand that on. Fall. Tag on the apple. Apple jelly. That would be cute. Okay, let me trim this down, because we're going to have to wrap this up. Now, what will be really cute is how we finish this off. You could put a small strand of lights in this jar, okay, and have it set in your kitchen as sort of like a little night light. You could go like that, or you could create a little topper and use a little shade like I showed you guys earlier. I see harvest, I see apple butter, let's see, apple, just apple. I'm still not deciding. Oh, Miss Brenda, thank you. A for apple, that would be cute. I'm kind of leaning towards apple butter. Let's see if we can do that. All right, I need to test out. I have a little ink pen that I like that works perfect for this, and I got to make sure I have the right one. I need a little fine tip Sharpie, and I keep meaning to get one, and I keep forgetting. Okay, let's write apple butter on this. And I just freehand it. Now, if you don't have fabric to do this with, you could use craft paper, you could use cardstock. Get creative. You could use a brown grocery bag to make a little tag. This fabric is not really wanting to sit still for me. When I use muslin material, it sits really still when I want to write something on it. But this is kind of a little bit squirmy, so it's taking me just a second longer. Sorry, you guys. Kind of like to be a little quicker than this, but today's project was kind of one that we wanted to put together. I kind of needed your all's input on today's project because I really didn't know which direction I wanted to take it, and sometimes it's just more fun that way. Okay, now I freehanded that. Well, my camera's backwards, but you get the gist. There we go. There we go. Thank you. All right, now it's a little bit off-centered, so I'm going to take a little bit off the end here. I gotta have it centered. Oh gracious, now I don't want to tear. So I'm gonna cut it and then fray the ends there. Okay, so back to the little lamp here. Ah, thank you, Miss Jennifer. I had to go with red for apples today. All right, now look how cute that is. Oh, oh my goodness. So, we're going to put a little bit of Mod Podge on the back of this. And once again, I'm not going to coat every inch of this little tag because I want the edges to kind of pucker up. Now, if you want to go the extra detail, you could put some little apple seeds on your cutout with some fabric, or just freehand them. I have some little buttons that I make out of air dry clay, little Model Magic, Crayola's Model Magic. I'm just looking if I have a button. I don't know, that doesn't look quite, no, I need a smaller one. Ah, thank you, Miss Karen. All right, so let's tie this off at the top. We've got a few minutes left. So I need a tie at the top here. And I'm looking for the right color fabric. I need something kind of basic because I don't want to compete with the patterns that are on the apple, right? So let's just go with some coffee stained muslin here. And what I could do, let's see. I could put a little, I think it needs a little bit of color though. Rats. All right, so what I think I'm going to do, sort of like this little tie. I took this off to show you. This is a little tie I've had on another project. It has little strips of muslin and some little ticking striped homespun. I think, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if that ticking matches or coordinates really well. I feel like that's a distraction. So what I'm probably going to do is make another little bow just like this and replace this ticking fabric with a little strip of the same fabric that I did the apple with, and give that a little quick tie at the top. And then let's just put this on here for reference right now, and then I'll finish this off camera and I will share a photo with you guys afterwards. That's kind of what I'm thinking to finish it off, and then I will create my little lamp, my little light that I put in here. I might do a little quick video with this if I can to finish it off, and there you go. Woohoo, there you go. That's how that's going to turn out. Put a little string of lights down in that jar. You got an instant little night light. Pumpkin butter and pear butter. Oh my goodness, to have a little set. That would be darling. Yes. Have a matching little set of those. Oh my gosh. Husband's going to be eating lots of pickles. I need another pickle jar. That would be so cute. Like a little 3-jar set. Oh, that would be adorable. And you could finish it off with some little muslin and just tie it off and make like a little jar like that. That would be super cute too. But I'm kind of thinking I need a little lamp. So I'm thinking I might use this with my little lampshade here. I can't get this right. My camera's backwards, and so I keep moving it backwards. That's what it would look like. There. Wouldn't that be cute? Thank you all so much for joining me today. There are crafters lined up all day long for you guys over in the Craft on the Clock group with all things Apple. Fun Fall Friday for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you for being here. I hope you have an amazing weekend. Until I see you again, have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.